Hi, I'm Kori Smith, owner and broker of Concierge Real Estate Services. Welcome to the third episode in our home workshop series. Thank you for watching. This episode is sponsored by Xpress Valuations, appraisers who value your business. When you're selling a home, there are two main factors that help you sell the home: marketing and price. In this video, we'll be discussing price. We'll be learning from our expert appraiser on how to determine the true value of a home and how to price it competitively for sale. Now, in the next video, we'll be discussing the other crucial factor that sells a home: marketing. So today we'll be focusing with our guest appraiser, Mike Silva. Nice to have you here.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Happy to have you here and talk to us a little bit about appraisals. But first, tell us a little bit about you.
Sure. My name is Mike Silva. Well, I've been a real estate appraiser for going on 17 years. I have a firm down in Atwater with 4 licensed appraisers. We cover an area from San Joaquin County all the way down to Fresno County and everything in between.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, awesome. You guys do a great job. We work with you.
Well, thank
often.
you. Yeah, we love working with you, and
yeah,
it's always a pleasure.
Awesome. Well, we're happy to have you here today and help us through some of these topics. So one of the things we're wondering are, what are some of the misconceptions that people have about the value of their homes?
Sure. I believe the biggest misconception is that cost does not necessarily equal value. Like a big example is, say someone buys a home for $400,000 and then they put in a pool for $50,000. They go, well, when I go out to do the appraisal, sometimes it comes in maybe $420,000. Like, well, Mike, that doesn't make sense. If I bought the home for $400,000, I build the pool for $50,000. My home should be worth, in theory, $450,000. But the typical market value of a home that sells with a pool versus without a pool, typically around $20,000.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a big misconception that, hey, because I put this much money into my property or my home, it should translate into value. And that is not the case.
It's not dollar for dollar.
Never.
Right.
It's market reaction.
Oh, okay.
So another example, someone that maybe paints the exterior walls of their home. Well, it cost me $4,000. Like, well, my home should be worth $4,000 more. But a lot of that is just maybe deferred maintenance or something that should have been done anyways. Therefore, it'll be taken into account regarding the condition of the property, but not necessarily translate into direct value.
Gotcha. Okay. Because the home should be in a certain condition.
Correct.
To get that value. And if you're catching up before you sell the house.
You're exactly. Deferred maintenance. Versus,
right.
Yeah.
Which we all have it. None of us, are perfect with our home maintenance, but when you want it to sell, you got to get it in tip-top shape.
Yeah. And I'm guilty of that too. When I go to sell my house, like, well, I did all these things.
Right.
I'm trying to give them a list and I'm trying to really tell it, Yeah. But I know in my heart, I'm like, oh, I know it's not going to.
Well, that's good to be aware of.
Sure.
So that we're more realistic, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Well, then one of the main rules in real estate is location, 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 right?
Exactly.
All right. So how does location affect the value of?
Location is actually the biggest factor in determining value of any property.
Okay.
It's the biggest factor. For example, you could take a 1,200 square foot property on an acre in Merced, could be worth about $450,000. You take that same 1,200 square foot house identical and you move it to, say, the San Francisco area on a lot a tenth of that size, and you'll see that it could be worth $1.2 million. So identical houses, identical improvements on the lot. The only difference is location. That makes all the difference in the world.
Gotcha. So that's critical. That's going to be the main starting point for you, right?
100%. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And then what are some other factors that you consider in addition to location?
Other factors to consider when valuing a property is, for example, train noise, airport noise. Is near an airport? Traffic noise. Is it on a busy road? Is it on a cul-de-sac where it's quiet? And other things, maybe it's near commercial or industrial sites. Commercial or industrial sites can give off sound. Some can even give off an odor. So it's important to know the area, and say sometimes you may be there in the morning when it's cooler and it's maybe doesn't smell. You could be there in the afternoon and be like, wow, when the breeze is kicking this way, this doesn't look as attractive as it did when you've seen the house. So a lot of times, that's something to keep in mind, and consulting with your expert agent or a real estate appraiser, we can kind of guide you and be like, yeah, the house is great and the price is good, but maybe it's because of this external factor or condition,
Right. Okay. So you've got the location and just overall, and then you've got the neighborhood.
Yes.
right?
Uh-huh.
How nice does it look there, and any other things to deter from it.
Exactly. School districts are also another big thing. Sometimes a neighborhood sells for more just because of a particular school or school district. That's also another important factor when determining value.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Great. All right. Then what about like upgrades and renovations? You talked about pools or things. How do they factor in?
Sure. When determining value of an upgrade or a renovation, again, it's not dollar for dollar. I put in this much, so it's worth this much. How it works is we have to find another home in the neighborhood that has a similar upgrade or a renovation and see how much more it's sold for because of that upgrade or renovation.
Okay.
That's what's known as market reaction.
Uh,
So the market reaction, for example, a kitchen, you can tell, okay, this home did not have a renovated kitchen and it sold for this much. These homes all had updated or renovated kitchens and it sold for this much. And that's how we extract market reaction of upgrades, not cost.
Okay, based on what the other homes like that sold for with those improvements.
Exactly. Exactly. And you have to be careful when you upgrade or renovate not to over improve. For example, this is an extreme example. I go to a house, like, well, Mike, I installed gold doorknobs on all the doorknobs. I spent $45,000. That's a lot of money. But
solid gold.
So like, how much do you think that's going to add in value? I said, okay, well, I'll go back to the office and look for other comparables. And if I find another one with gold doorknobs and see how much more is sold for compared to a home without gold doorknobs.
Can you find one?
Well,
Maybe
no.
not.
That's the problem. So what I have to report is that, hey, I believe the home was over improved for the neighborhood. Maybe in a Dubai, at a very rich neighborhood, they would be like, yeah, gold doorknobs, they add so much value, but in our counties around here, probably not.
Okay.
So, and that's the hardest thing I think homeowners have to really grasp is that, well, I spent X amount on all these beautiful moldings or whatever in certain neighborhoods where there's nothing else to compare it to. It becomes an over improvement and no value is given to those things.
Okay.
And that's really hard for homeowners to grasp.
And that's why it's so important that they get educated, right? Before you go and make those improvements, maybe talk to an appraiser or get some insight from workshops like this so that you make the right decision, right? Excellent.
And I know these are extreme examples, but
but it really makes it clear, right?
Right.
It's helpful. That's awesome. All right. So if you're looking at home compared to this home over here, comparing the two, what do you think helps the sellers set their home apart to give them more value in a competitive market?
In my opinion, making sure the home is free of clutter, easily accessible. Some homes have certain restricted hours for showing. I'm just saying, if you're ready to sell your home, in my opinion, make it easily accessible. Don't have limited hours. Try to remove clutter so that people can walk through freely. The little things, make sure the landscaping is up and it's not a bunch of dishes in the sink. I think that's important. If someone walks into a home and they're like, hey, you know what? It looks fresh and clean and nice. They're more likely to put in an offer where they go to another home and things just kind of look disheveled and then maybe put an offer on the other house versus that one.
Right.
So just being ready, I think, is the main thing.
Nice. Okay. Being ready and having the condition in good shape and clean and neat and tidy.
Yeah. And accessibility is very, very important.
And accessibility, right? Have your realtor with showings, have a lockbox, have them be able to get in easy, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your dog's up. That's a big thing too. Your animals. A lot of times the agents may be scared to go into a home that has a large dog or something that makes it just hard to access. I think that has a lot to do with a home getting a lot of offers versus not as many because there's not as many viewings or showings because of that.
Right.
So just putting your dogs up or away or in a kennel or something goes a long way as far as accessibility as well.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, wonderful. Would it be a good time to ask the audience for questions?
Sure.
All right. Anybody have any questions for Mike? All right.
What advice do you have for someone who is trying to sell their home quickly?
In order to sell their home quickly, I think the number one most important thing is that it's priced correctly. Most homes that don't sell quickly is because they're overpriced.
Okay.
Price cures all.
Right.
If a home is priced right, somebody will buy it.
Okay.
That's my opinion. And I think to get it priced right, a local expert, an agent, work with your trusted agent, get an appraisal, get it priced right. And both of them can give you good advice on the competitiveness of your home to the other properties and how long it should take to sell and I don't, you guys probably do as well. We analyze a lot of data, supply and demand. We look at days on market, what price points certain homes sold for, and we can determine a quick sale price pretty easily.
Right. Using the
So-
market data.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. And the agents can help with that because we have access to the same comps that you have,
Correct.
the market data.
Mhm.
And so we can look at those factors, the location, the condition of the home, and upgrades,
Upgrades. Yes.
right? The features, the amenities that
Right.
the home has.
And you guys live in the communities where your
Right.
homes are. You guys are the experts in that area and are the best suited, in my opinion, to make those determinations.
Right, because we see the homes that have just sold, right? We know the
Correct.
inventory.
And you know what homes are sitting. Like, oh, there's that home there on Fur. That's never going to sell.
Right.
You guys know it's just priced too high. You guys are the local experts.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. And so price is huge.
It's everything. Yeah,
So that's going to help it sell quickly is if you
Mhm.
price it right.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
excellent. All right, good question. Yeah.
Hey, Mike, I have a question about what value do you give to views?
Views.
A house that has views.
Sure.
What kind of value does
So,
it do?
in order to extract the market value or the market reaction of a view, we would take one home with a similar view, say a lake view,
Mhm.
and we'd compare it to a home without a view. And so
Okay.
after we make adjustments, we see how much more or less the view is contributing to the market value.
Okay. And can you go outside the area to something like a similar type of neighborhood if you have to?
Correct. It's not the most ideal situation for an appraiser. If a home is around Bass Lake and has a beautiful lake view, you'd want to find another one around Bass Lake with a similar view.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't want to go to Shaver Lake or something else. Could be a different market, different
Right.
values.
Okay.
So it is important for appraisers to try to find the most similar locationally to that to extract the correct market value from that.
Okay.
If the view is over improved for the neighborhood, it's still good. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, we can also do the extraction method, which we will see last time that home sold and compare that price to the other homes in the neighborhood.
Oh,
It's kind of more advanced appraising, but a lot of appraisers, certified especially that have been in the industry a long time, can actually go back and attempt to extract the market value based off the last time it sold and what the ones around it that didn't have the view sold for, and try to make a case that way. Yes,
Excellent. And that's why when you need an expert to get that data, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Hi, Mike. I was wondering, based on your experience, what are two of the most important things a homeowner could do to improve their home to increase the value before they market it?
Good question. Back in the crash was when I started appraising. Back, I don't know, 08, 09, 07.
Yeah.
Fannie and Freddie, of course, had a lot of foreclosures. And at first, they were just putting them right back on the market, cleaning them up, landscape, whatever, putting them back on the market. They found that just putting carpet and paint, new carpet and paint, nothing else, was increasing the resale value of the properties considerably. So they enacted a new rule that all the HUD properties back in the day were getting carpet and paint right before, I don't know about all, but most were getting carpet and paint before sale. And that had a considerable effect. So looking at those market trends and that data, I feel pretty confident that a home will get the most return on investment on an update of just carpet and paint. And it goes a long way.
Right.
And I'm the same way when I go look at a house and I'm sure when you guys are showing it to your buyers, you open it up and it smells fresh.
Yes.
Smell fresh paint, fresh carpet. Everything looks uniform and nice. That is the best return on investment, carpet and paint.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That definitely, we've noticed that when
Yeah.
we're showing.
Yeah, and I noticed it as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you appraise VA and FHA loans? Are they appraised differently for those types of homes?
The market value of a home is never dependent on the loan type. It could be whatever loan type. However, it won't make any difference on the market value.
Okay.
The only thing different in a, for example, conventional versus VA or FHA are the minimum property requirements. So a home that maybe goes FHA or VA shouldn't have any stripped or peeling paint. Things in the home should be functional if they're present. So it's more stringent as far as that goes. But as far as market value, it should not have any effect on it at all.
That makes sense. They just want the condition a little bit in better shape
Exactly,
necessarily than
because-
another lender might require.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay. Anyone else? All right. Cool. Well, then I think we're good. Thank you so much, Mike.
Not a problem. Thank you
This
for
is-
having me.
Oh, my
So it's
pleasure. Our
always a pleasure to come
pleasure.
here. I love
Yeah.
Mariposa. And
Oh.
it's always beautiful this time of year here.
Oh, my, no, hasn't it been nice? Yeah.
Everything is green and beautiful. So.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you for taking your time to come up here
Sure.
and share this with us. It was really informative. You really prepared well. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
That's great. All right. Well, thank you, Mike, for coming and giving us some of these important points for us to think about when we're selling our home. If you have any questions about this information, one of our agents would be happy to meet with you and discuss more of this in detail with you about your specific home. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Please make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. That way you'll get notifications of the next awesome video that we have just for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kori, so much.
Awesome.